Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video, we'll be reviewing tips on the removal and replacement of the crankcase ventilation sensor and tube on this 2020 Ford Fusion with the 1.5 liter engine. If you find my tips to be helpful, please like, subscribe, and comment. Now let's get started. The sensor and tube assembly is located in the center of your screen at the tip of my pointer. There's a tube, there's a sensor, and a tube continues onto the back. So some of the symptoms associated with a faulty sensor or overpressure condition are hard start, rough idle, misfire, engine is consuming a lot of oil, surging. Also, you're going to have a diagnostic code of P051 Bravo. What does this sensor do? It alerts the driver to an overpressure condition in the crankcase that needs to be addressed. So let's move on to our supply list. Our supply list includes a pair of pliers and a new sensor and hose system if needed. So let's go ahead with the removal and replacement of the sensor and hose and move on with this video. What you're going to have to do is remove a clamp located right here. So loosen up this clamp, squeeze it, and it will disconnect this hose right here. The more difficult part is dealing with the back of the hose. And so let me zoom in a little bit back there. It's not going to help a lot, but I'll just try to describe it. So on the back side of this hose, there's a clamp system that has ridges on it. And so there's ridges here and ridges there. So you're gonna have to squeeze in, and it's kind of difficult because the bottom half of the clamp there's really a confined space there. And so you're just gonna have to get your hand in there at the right location. Squeeze really hard, push inward and pull out. And you're gonna have to do that probably 5 or 6 times until you get to squeeze it just right and pull it out. Okay, so that's what I'll be doing here. Squeeze, push in, and pull. There you go. Got it. And then you just kind of snake it out. And there you have it. So that's your connection right here. There's your sensor. And then there's the other side of the hose. And so the part that you couldn't see is me squeezing on this right here, like that. Okay? Squeeze, and it's really hard to squeeze, honestly. So you just got to get in there and really put a lot of pressure on it. And you'll see there's O-rings here, so make sure these O-rings are in good condition. This one doesn't have an O-ring. But make sure this rubber isn't cracked, because this is a sealed pressurized system. Okay, so this rubber shouldn't be cracked. And unlike other positive crankcase ventilation valves, this one doesn't have like a moving mechanical part inside. It's just a sensor, and so it detects overpressure. It could be that you could spray some gum out or a fuel injector cleaner in here and kind of trap the fluid in there and clean it out, right? Something like that, and then put it back in. I haven't tried that, but I think it'd be worth a try before you replace this part. And that's about all I really want to say about this. So let's go ahead and move forward with the installation. And so I'm going to first snake this in through the back like that, and just be careful because there are a lot of wires back here. Get it in place. And then I would make this connection on the front first. And then once you get the front one, the back one just kind of falls in place. So be careful of the electrical connector. So now I'm going to come in on the other side using my pliers. Pull back that hose right there. See if I can do it so you guys can see me. Just put your pliers on the wide setting. Small setting, wide setting. And then just like that, squeeze in and slide it on. Just that easy. Okay, I wish it was that easy every time. Next, I'm going to tackle that rear connection. And all I'm going to do is just reach back here. And the hose is just sitting right on top of the hose bib. And so I'm just going to grab the hose and pull it down onto the hose bib. And you hear the click. Listen for the click. There you go. I pull in the opposite direction to make sure I have a solid connection. So now I'm coming back over here. I'm going to check my gasket on my electrical connector. The gasket is not deformed. And I'm going to go ahead, insert it, listen for the click. There you go. Plug in the opposite direction. That's a solid connection. And that's about it. Well, folks, this wraps up my video on the crankcase pressure sensor and tube system on this 2020 Ford Fusion with the 1.5 liter engine. I hope you found my tips to be helpful. Please like and subscribe. And until next time, drive defensively.